Well, how Rock of Ages came to be was Jon got a phone call from somebody already working at Lifeworks, and he knew that Jon and I played in groups together. We were close friends, and he said, hey, I've got this opportunity for you. Would you be willing to kind of lead this band that's made up of individuals with disabilities? This sounds like a cool opportunity. Both of us were in, let's do it. And 6 years later, here we are.
Here were these two young men who didn't know a lot about people with disabilities, but knew a lot about music and the love of music, and they brought it all together and gave them 6 years of their lives to create something that we've never seen before in the States, really, certainly not in Minnesota, and brought that power of music to build relationships and lives that are fulfilling and interesting and enviable.
The first time I met Jon and Andy, I met them over the phone first, texting back and forth. We wanted to come to a practice and just check it out for Josh. We'd been looking for something like Rock of Ages for years, and we were invited to a practice just about a year ago. And the moment we walked in, I just knew this was it. I knew this is what we had been looking for Josh. Initially, we were just supposed to just sit in and observe. Well, then they took a break and they said, hey, Josh, why don't you come up here and sit in the drums and show us what you can do? And I just knew at that moment that Josh was going to join the band.
I don't think either of us really had any hesitancy working in a group that was, all individuals that had disabilities of some kind. At least it seemed like an opportunity to just kind of get to know people from a different perspective, I think. That was really the main thing that seemed like kind of a unique opportunity,
Jon kind of was always like the intellect behind everything, but Andy has the energy to stimulate and get people to do their best. And it was a perfect combination, of course.
I just like how Jon and Andy and the rest of the mentors that are in the band, it seems like they focus on the band members' abilities, not their disabilities.
They use the talents that are there and actually that you didn't even know were there, too.
And that's what's so amazing about watching them perform is that each one brings something to the band.
Their openness to that has been a pretty important part of this whole thing, to be able to understand and listen and at the same time guide. And I think those are pretty amazing traits.
And so together they work out well. So it turns out to be a very professional sounding group, and very, very proud of what they can do.
Well, there are 1,000 memorable moments, of course, over the years that we've been doing this group. And I remember we played a gig. It was the first gig that we played with all these new members kind of combined. And Josh, our new drummer, is such a sweet young man, and he's just so talented, so kind.
Josh is really passionate about his music.
He got his first drum set when he was like 5 years old, and he's been playing ever since.
And he plays a lot of instruments. Plays drums and guitar and bass and keyboards, and he's always wanted to, do a gig.
Yeah, he had always wanted to be in a band, and this is the shot. And so there's this nice big stage in Golden Valley, and he's up on the drum riser, and he's setting up the drums with me, and he looks at me and says, man, I guess dreams really do come true, huh? And for sure, that's when I knew that this is a pretty cool thing. And seeing the excitement and the smiles, and like once that first song is out of the way, then you can relax a little bit, and the crowd's applauding and supportive and going crazy, and people wait their whole lives for those kinds of feelings, and dream about them, and this is fulfilling that dream.
Also, we get a lot of emotional responses. People have cried or teared up, during performances, and it's always pretty special. I think we know we're on the right track when that happens.
One of the things that I remember as being amazing and I didn't know what was going to happen, was when at the end of a song, Brittany gave a little bit on the drums, and then Andy took that cue, and he was on the big set of drums, and he gave a little bit on the drums. She answered him back, and the next thing you knew, they were doing dueling drums. And nobody in the band knew that was going to happen either, you know, and so it was just really awesome. And every once in a while, it still happens. And it shows, I think, just how in sync Andy is, and Jon too, about the members of the band. You know, they'll pick up on anything, they'll encourage, they'll inspire, and it's really cool.
Seeing the growth in the group and everybody individually has been really one of the most rewarding things about being in the group for me.
And even outside of the band, outside of the classroom, you know, we're friends, we're family, and more than that. We're band members, you know, we're bandmates. It's a powerful connection with somebody. It's special. All right, verse 2, here we go. 1, 2, 3, 4.
I just want to say thank you, Jon and Andy. I couldn't imagine a more perfect fit for Josh and his musical abilities, and I just want to say thank you and congratulations.
Probably the best thing I could say is what my son Josh says. He says, they know how to rock.
Congratulations, Jon and Andy, on your Staff Excellence Award. Rock on.
Great job, guys. That was fun.